All right. Hello, everyone. So sorry we're a little late. It's been a crazy day, but we're going to go ahead and get started so I don't take too much of Maria's time. But thanks for tuning into another Grow Nebraska webinar. We're so happy to be able to provide these to all of you. Today, we're going to discuss how to launch your business with customer-focused marketing. So we'll just go ahead and get started. As always, a thank you to our partner, Center for Rural Affairs, for being a sponsor of the Grow Nebraska Foundation. And they also are a sponsor for the Market Tech Conference that is this month. So a huge thank you to them. Our featured sponsor is First National Bank, and they are also a sponsor of the Grow Nebraska Foundation as well as the Market Tech Conference. And then our featured member is Nebraska Enterprise Fund. They are a huge partner of ours, and we are so grateful to be able to work with them. And they also do a lot for Nebraska businesses. So some of you may have worked with them before. And they have been a member since 2008, so quite a while. So a huge thank you to Nebraska Enterprise Fund. And then, of course, this week's presenter is Maria Duron. And as always, if you have any questions or anything you want to share with Maria in the chat, just be sure to put it there and she'd be happy to chat with you. So.
Right. Thank you so much, Zoe. And welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal background. So I am traveling, which always takes a little bit of coordination. And I appreciate Grow Nebraska always being so patient and willing to work from wherever location I happen to be at. Let me just make sure I've got the chat box open here so you can ask any question and I don't miss it. I don't want it to be covered. And let me go ahead and share my screen. So it is just going to be a little bit different since, of course, I'm traveling, so we're just going to do a regular screen share here. All right. You should see in front of you, launch your business with customer-focused marketing. Let me know if you are having any trouble with seeing that or that you do see that. I'd love to know a little bit more about you and your business. So use the chat box for that because that is where I keep things highly interactive and I do like to customize everything to the people who are here in the room. So I'm excited that you're here, but this is your time. Let's make the most of your time and invest it. So you are working on your business specifically. And if I can give you examples that are specific to your industry, it would really help me to be able to know what industry you're in. So tell me more about your business in the chat box. Plus, that's a great place for you to also get a little bit of visibility if you want to as well about your business. So you'll see that my name is Maria Elena Duron. How many of you, this is your first time to be in a session with me? If it is, just put the number 1. You'll see at the very bottom there, right before we get to the cityscape, welcome, Resin Art. Welcome, Robert. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Awesome. So you'll see the first handle there at Maria Duron, Duron, is me on Twitter if you want to connect with me there, or X as it's known now. And then on Instagram, I'm Get Found Got Growth. I would love to connect with you there. So I see, ooh, chili stew. It's perfect right now for the weather that I'm in. We've got photography here as well. Let me see who else is here. All right. Oh, this is great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know. New people here. Wonderful. I'm excited that you're here. How many of you are coming to Market Tech? I'd love to know if you're coming to Market Tech. I will be there February 29th, and I'm so excited to be there with my very good friend and co-host of Brand Chat, which ran for 12 years every Wednesday. Perfect. Zoe, I'm excited. I can't wait to see you. Amy, a small town newspaper. Welcome. So glad you're here, Amy, Marquita. All right, let's go ahead and launch into it. You don't have the details on Market Tech. Ooh, let's get Jason some details on Market Tech. We got Terry with a floral and gift shop. Welcome. So you have a brick and mortar. Terry, do you also have an online store? I would love to know. Just let me know that. Who else do we have here? Let me see. Yes to both. Perfect, Terry. Excellent. Who else? I'm sorry that it's shaking a little bit. It's just that where I've got to put my laptop right now. I see Resin Art here. Robert, do you do that again, like for festivals, trade shows, or do you have an online store? I'd love to know. Okay. Just let me know there in the chat box as I customize this for you that are here. We're going to be talking about how you can launch your business with customer-focused marketing. It's really important because if you've been paying any attention to what's happening with search and Google, you will find that Google has talked a lot about what's known as helpful user content. And what that means is it needs to be information that is pertinent and important to the person who is searching online. So that could be your potential customer. It could be your current long-term customers. What though is important and what makes it helpful user content is using their own words. So it's not industry speak or what we think they should use. It is knowing their actual words and their needs. And it's important and on us to be able to do the heavy lifting to connect the dots between what they need and the product, service, or solution that we have, both online, but online is only partially done. Understand, Robert, it's always a work in progress, and I love to be able to help you through any stage in leveling up your growth and your ability to be found. So your findability is so important because if people don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. So let's go ahead and dive in on what we're going to be talking about today. Let me make sure this is there. Oh, there we go. That way we're right there in the slides. We're going to be talking about the marketing funnel. How many of you know what the marketing funnel is and where you're stuck? So the marketing funnel we will cover. I'd love to hear where you're stuck or where you have some questions. We'll be talking about your customer journey, as you have heard of it. Perfect, Jason. We're going to be talking about that customer journey because the customer journey is not just the marketing funnel, but it's also their decision journey and their path to purchase. We'll talk more about how you can reach prospects and make sure that they're aware. Also, how you can have them work into consideration and actually engage them into considering you to do business with. Next, we'll move into conversion. Now, you're going to hear me because I come with 15 years of international e-commerce experience. You'll hear me say the words buy a lot. When I say buy, that's a conversion action. What does a conversion action mean? That is a successful action you want them to take on your website. So it doesn't mean that they have to buy, especially if you don't have anything for them to buy on your actual site. It could be to download a PDF, fill in a contact form, leave their email address, watch a video, again, and ask some questions. So it could be any of those that you consider success actions that you want them to take on your site. Or it could be if they can buy online and purchase from you, they're buying, they're setting up a subscription, anything like that, signing up for your newsletter. I'll talk about loyalty and advocacy. And then, of course, I always end everything with a recap and free resources. Understand that everything that I'm talking about today, as far as the tools you can use to help you through and understanding the funnel and where you can get unstuck in your funnel, is 100% free. Okay, so you have this with your free personal Gmail or free Google account. You do not have to have a Gmail account. You can just set up a free Google account with your actual email address. All right. So first time, free produce farms. Oh, perfect. Ooh, Jenny, what kind of produce do you focus on? Do you have like a main staple? Love to know. So let's talk about the marketing funnel. And thank you so much for sharing with me your industries in the chat. This is perfect. Let's talk about the marketing funnel and really getting a good understanding. Because Jason, you said you've heard of it, which means that it's important for us to not only understand the funnel, but understand what our customers need as they go through that funnel, and they need for them to be able to make good decisions. So for us, it's on us to really create meaning between and that connection between what we have and what they need. So when we look in this case study of Sharika and Shalon, they actually knew that the people that they were designing their product for needed a fancy, more professional lunch kit. Not the lunch kits you see the kiddos going to school with, but something that you felt proud of going into any meeting or event with. And that's what they focused their actual business on. And like most entrepreneurs, they had a lot of knowledge and technical know-how about their craft and what they were good at. So they really had that passion and they had that vision, but they really didn't understand marketing. And do not believe the myth that you build a better mousetrap and the world will be the path to your door. They won't. It takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money and a system in place to really fill that pipeline with people who could be good potential customers for you. So when I say pipeline, that's the amount of people that are coming to you that are potentially interested prospects or customers. So what does marketing do and why we're needing to focus on all of the things today that we're going to cover? Because we're covering quite a bit. So get ready to take lots of notes, but do know that you will get a copy of today's slides afterwards, and I'll show you how to get that towards the end, okay? Actually, I'm going to put that right here as far as a link. So you can go into, and you're not going to see the slides right away there. It will be after the session. Usually I do that during the session, but I did not get to upload those. So if you'll click there after the session, it will be there if you want a copy of today's slides. So first, our job is to create meaning, right? We really need to understand, what does this mean for our customer? What do they need? Our messaging is for them. Understand every description about your business and your website. So if you're working with your Google business profile, which is how you, for free, actually control the information that Google has on you and about you on Google search and Google Maps, then you definitely want to make sure that you use the 750 characters to describe your business for them. It's for them. It's not for you to talk about all your accolades, but what does that mean for them? Everybody, if you imagine, they all have WIIFM tattooed on their forehead, which is what's in it for me. That's our job to do that. So what does it mean that you are certified in pediatric orthodontist? That means nothing to me other than now I know my child is in the hands of somebody experienced who will make them feel safe, secure, and not a minimal amount of pain. Okay, so we need to connect those dots. We also need to build relationships and develop credibility. There's a lot of businesses out there people can choose from. You just scroll, right? You just go on. Most people they're going on here, their mobile device, 84% go there first when they want to know, go, do, or buy. And they're going there first, and they can just scroll right away and find somebody in the industry. So it doesn't have to particularly be you, especially if they don't have trust and credibility for you. And how are you influencing them along that journey? So as we do that, there we go. Switched off the slides. This is what the marketing funnel looks like that Jason said he knew and he had heard of. This is what it looks like visually. It's awareness. First, they need to know that you exist, right? So they can do business with you. If they are looking somewhere else and all your information is over here, then they don't know that you exist and they can't choose you. Then in order to choose you, there has to be consideration. So what does consideration mean? It needs to be trust and credibility. None of us want to work with somebody, no matter what our budget is. We want to work with somebody who is only at what they do. We want to work with the best of the best of the best. Doesn't matter whether or not we have just a little bit of budget. We still want to work with somebody who's considered credible and knows what they're doing. Conversion is, are they doing that success action that you want on your site? What is it that you want them to do? Is everything on your site and all the marketing material? So I'm talking a lot about website, since we know people go online first before they do any shopping, a lot of comparison shopping, even locally, to see who has the product or brand in stock or in town. So as we know people are going there, are you aware of conversion that you're providing in all your marketing, be it online, offline, so actual flyers, any publications, any events that you do? How are you measuring the success of that? If you're going to do a trade show, what's the minimum value return that you need to get from it? What are the expectations and your goals? What are your key performance indicators? And then loyalty, because we know that it costs less to work with a customer who already knows, likes, and trusts us, and to be able to get them to do more business with us or to refer other people, because then we get the halo effect of the person who knows, likes, and trusts them getting a recommendation about us. All right. Buy from Amazon instead of an unknown site. Trust, right? Exactly. A lot of people will go to Amazon because we've all learned, Amazon did a great job training us and then really stepped in 2020 to show us, we can trust them. They can deliver in 24 hours. It really stepped up the game for all of us who did online e-commerce, because there was no longer not having free shipping, couldn't do it in 24 hours or deliver in 2 days. They really did step up the game. So in order for you to be able to have that credibility of Amazon, you need to be able to exude that and give your customers what they want and meet their needs. The thing with Amazon is they have an amazing return policy, because I work with the Amazon team quite a bit, and many e-commerce stores that do business with Amazon. And because they have an amazing return policy, it makes it so easy to do business with them. And you may have one, but if people don't know you exist and you have one, then they can't decide to use you or choose you. So awareness is, how do you reach those customers, right? Consideration, how do you help them find the answers to what it is that they need? Why are they looking for your product, service, or solution? What is it that they look like a step before they're in that looking zone? So when I say the looking zone, that's when they start Googling and looking for a solution. What do they look like beforehand? For us to be able to do business, we need to be experts on our customers, which means we need to know exactly what they're experiencing before they even need it. And when we can remove that fear or the unknown from them and really know what the steps they're going to take and help them through that with our product or our service, that makes us really a winner and who they want to do business with, because now you're more of a trusted friend or advisor. And then, do your customers return? Do they do more business with you or send more business to your way with referrals and recommendations? So how can we reach those prospects? So if you're stuck here, if you're stuck at the very top of the funnel, so some of you have heard this with ads. This is called TOFU, top of funnel, TOF. You'll see it sometimes, top of funnel. This is awareness. So when you're looking at a funnel, it looks like this, right? The biggest at the top is the awareness. So that's when you're getting the most people in who may or may not be aligned to be the perfect customer for you. So how do you currently reach your customers? What are you doing right now to reach them? A lot of people are using any one of these 6 bullet points, but maybe you're using something more. Let me know in the chat box, okay? So how are you reaching them? And is it working for you? Because I'll have a lot of people say, well, Maria, I'm posting on social and I'm a big fan of socials. I'm on all of them. But I always ask them, what does a social connection get you? What do the 100 followers and the 50 likes that you just got on that post, what's the return on that? Because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that is not lifting the bottom line or getting you closer to your goal is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So you take time to put things on in social. What's the return? Well, if you know for every 100 followers you get about 10, 20, let's say 20 likes. Whenever you put out a post there, of the 20 likes, they all go to your 10 of them go to your link. So 50% go to your link in your bio, maybe one of the 4 bio links or 4 links that you have in Instagram or your link on TikTok, and they come to your site. Of the 10 that come to your site, 5 will do a success action, leave an email address, ask a question, download a form. But from there, now you know this is what it means to me, because when they do that success action, now it gets me closer to the goal and lifting that bottom line. Okay. So yes, I see Terry. Thank you so much. So you use word of mouth, one of the strongest forms, and understand social can be that on steroids if it's done correctly. Google search and advertising. Perfect. Thank you, Terry, for sharing that with us. And that is what are your awareness cycles? Because if you're trying to work just on the others, as far as consideration, conversion, and loyalty, that's great if you've got plenty of brand awareness. But some people just need to have brand awareness. And there are many tools that can get you there, but they may not be aware that that's where they're stuck. That's already the part of the funnel that's not working for them. So how do you identify your customers? How do you brand your business? How do you get your business online? How are you findable? That's important. So identifying those customers is number one. It's important to really know them. Now, I've sat across from thousands of small businesses and spoke to even more than that. And they all tell me, well, Maria, I really can do business with anybody, everybody, and somebody. The problem is you'll get their second cousin, nobody. And that is a problem because you don't have the type of money or the cash flow that you need to reach everybody and touch them in the world. You need to get very specific. It doesn't mean that you can't serve anybody, everybody, and somebody. But if your answer is, who do I serve? Well, anybody that fogs a mirror, that's actually code for, I have no idea. I hope you can figure this out for me. Okay. We need to be specific. It's on us to be able to be experts on our customers. Remember, I said that earlier. So it's on us to do that. What is it that they want? It doesn't mean we can't serve everybody else, but everybody else is gravy. If I miss my best customer, then I'm in trouble. So if I had only 100 customers, what would that best customer look like, sound like, feel like? What would they need? We need to answer that question and really understanding their behavior and what they look like as they're getting ready or searching for our product, service, or solution. So in this case, for the tote bags, this is who their persona is their best person to go look for, who will be the best potential customer for them. Not saying they can't serve a man or even somebody in rural America, not in large city, but this is where the bulk of people are. I was working with a dog, so a dog industry, they're a dog business. And they could serve anybody with a dog, but they found that their best customers were 35 or actually 32 to 45-year-old females who had 2 or 3 children, college educated. They just found that that's the most common demographics of their actual customers. So what they did is everything from what they posted on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything that they scheduled out, they timed it for 2 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because they found that their best customers shop at 2:20 a.m. from, you guessed it, their phone, right? So they came on to here, 2:20 in the morning, they're laying in bed, it's their quiet moment, and now they're shopping. They made sure all of their posts, their ads, anything that they did showed up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not because they just wanted their best customer, but they didn't want their best customer, best potential customer to miss their message. Everybody else, of course, with a dog could do business with them. So for you, who's that best persona? If you don't know, spend some time looking at your customers. What's common amongst them? What are some demographics, psychographics, behavior that's common? But then you can also go to, let's say, AI, Chat GPT. I love to use Chat GPT. The free version, you can use that. You can also use Google Bard, which is 100% free, BARD. Google Bard is 100% free. It is also an AI. And ask it this question. If I were to ask you, you were, let's say, if you're my expert marketing director for my business, then I put what my business is and explain a little bit about what we do. Who would you feel is our best target audience, or what questions would you need to ask me to be able to craft a great persona? And then it'll ask you, normally I've seen it ask anywhere from 20 to 35 questions, and you answer it. You don't have to worry about punctuation. AI doesn't care. And just put that in there and it will actually spit out a best persona for you. It's great because now you can use this to focus all your messaging. A lot of times people are wasting their energy and their time creating messaging that's for the masses, and they miss totally the person that would be the best customer. Your best customer needs to be able to see your messaging in video, in email, in text copy on your site and think, oh my gosh, they get me. So a lot of times people think it's all about branding your business, and you do have to have a good brand. A solid brand helps build confidence and trust. Understand brand consistency. When I see it's your same profile photo on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn business profile, on X, on Instagram, and now also on YouTube, that is a signal to me that you are a solid business. And a lot of times we as small businesses change our logos and our profile photos even before people realize that there has been, that you exist, that you even exist. So that's important for us to know too, because we'll get bored with our own branding before people even realize it. And we need to build consistency in our messaging, our colors, and the actual graphics so that people immediately see it and they think, oh yeah, I know who that is. So for you, in your brand, what are your values? What are your non-negotiables? What's most important to you? And how does your product or your service serve people? What is it that you really want to deliver to them? So a brand positioning statement helps get you there. And I love this because I use ChatGPT to put this together, or I teach ChatGPT what that is if I already have a brand positioning statement. What I love to upload in ChatGPT or Google Bard is to upload a persona, so the personas of a business, as well as the brand positioning statement, because now it can help me create content that actually is focused on engaging and encouraging that particular persona, not just for the general masses. Remember what I said, people need to be able to read your content, see your video, and think, oh my gosh, they get me, they understand. So for you, this is a template you can use. And remember what I said, you've got the slides available to you. That'll be sent to you afterwards. So please just know it'll be there afterwards. I don't have it in there right now at the link that I shared at the beginning of the actual session in the chat box. But this you can actually start filling in with who your audience is, who's your customer, what are their needs? What's their real pain points? What are they struggling with? And then now you can put the rest of the information, what makes you so different, and what's your promise? Really, what is that vision and mission? So for Shala and Shali, so you see this here with TW Tote, they are working professionals. They wanted stylish, functional lunch bags, right? So they are actually filling this in. And I'm sharing this with you as an example of what they actually did. So you can start now brainstorming for you exactly how you can fill in your brand statement. Now, when you've got that brand statement filled out, so don't try to skip over it, because a lot of people do. They think, well, I just want to put my information and my site out there. Well, it's great to do that, but unless you have a strategy, hope is wonderful to have, but it is a poor strategy. So it's not a strategy. So what socials are going to meet that best customer? Do you know? Because it's hard to keep up with all socials. Where are they? Now, just because you may love and spend every day going on to Instagram, that doesn't mean that's where they're at. Now, I dislike Pinterest because I just don't get it. I don't have time. I know a lot of people love it, and it actually provides a lot of good lift to people who are buying online, especially Amazon. It sends a lot of traffic to people. They see it on Pinterest to Amazon. So it really is an important conversion factor. but I just don't love it personally. That doesn't mean that I don't use Pinterest then when I'm marketing, because you need to meet your customer. It's not about you. You're not their best. You're not the best customer. You need to know and understand them. So where are they? Build your own website and know exactly how they use it. Really understand how your customers are shopping it and what information that they need. Be it that you're building your brand, setting up the fact that you are actually an expert, so you do want to communicate that, or even setting up an e-commerce or an education type resource actual website. You also have a Google business profile to help you control exactly what is seen in search and maps on Google. If you go to google.com/business, you're logged into your Google account now, you'll see whether or not you already have a Google business profile on search and maps, but maybe you're not controlling and managing your own reputation, which it's important, because when people find you online, if they don't find that you're credible, then they're just going to swipe down and they're never going to consider you again. Okay. So it's important for us, while we have their attention, to provide them exactly what they're needing when they're searching. Next, though, we said awareness is first. Consideration is next on the funnel. Remember what we said about the funnel? It looks like this. The biggest is awareness. Now we're funneling them through to consideration. So consideration is, can they find the answers to their questions, right? Can they know whether or not you're a trustworthy brand and you have the solution that they need? So first is, we need to listen and learn what matters most to them. One of the best ways that you can do that, if you already have your business, is go straight to your reviews and to look and see what people are actually saying in their reviews. Find out what matters to them. Go straight to your customers. That's the beauty of small business. We actually have advantages over the big businesses and the corporations. It's because we actually can reach out without a committee or a survey or anything and speak belly to belly to our customers and find out exactly what it is that they need. And it's important because, again, we need to listen and find out what matters most to them, not what we think, and what they're using, where they're at, where do they go for their information. One of the other places, let's say you don't have customers, is, okay, who's your competitor? Go read their reviews, because in their own words, they're telling you what is most important. It's also giving you some insight into seeing maybe where your competitors are missing the mark, and that might be a chance for you to step in, because maybe you serve or you cover that particular product or service better than your actual competitors. Now you can make your case for that, knowing the words and what matters most to them. You can determine what those pain points are. You can address all of those and find out how or what they're searching for online. Really, are they searching specifically for a professional tote bag, or I want to bring my lunch without looking like a loser? Are those the keyword phrases that they're using, or keywords? So a keyword is what people use to search with. Keyword phrases are a group of words. It's a phrase. So, you can go onto Google to see what they're searching for. So let me give you some inside marketer tips or expert marketer tips. So when you are in Google search bar, like you're seeing right in front of you, when you're in there searching and you start typing, you'll see a drop-down menu come up of other things, so suggested things to search for. Just so you know, those suggestions are what is most popular right now that is being searched around that topic. So those are keywords and key phrases. You can also go to people also ask. So when you hit enter and it gives you the search results, you'll see about a third of the way down the page, it'll say people also ask. Those are the questions people are Googling and saying, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, what they want and what they need. The third place that you can look is scroll all the way to the bottom before you have to click more, and it says related searches. Those are also active, popular searches right now. There are 3 places on any Google search page that will tell you exactly the keywords around whatever you're searching that people are using right now, that you could actually know and put into posts, into your YouTube shorts, into your TikToks, and make yourself more relevant. So you'll see that at the very bottom, the related searches people always ask is in about the first third. And then of course the drop down menu when you're first asking a question. So Google Trends is another place to look. It's one of my favorite Google tools. It's an unsung hero. It's 100% free. And you can see right now how many people, let's say in Kearney, Nebraska. So Kearney, Nebraska, you're in Kearney, maybe you're in Lincoln or Omaha, and you want to know what people have been searching for in the last 4 hours about, let's say, who am I going to look at here? Let me play for this a minute and come up with, let's see, produce. Okay, so Jenny had produce. So how many people are looking for and talking about fresh produce? and farm to market produce, maybe in Lincoln. Let's say how many are doing that in the last 4 hours. And maybe we're trying to figure out what video to put out on TikTok and YouTube. So we want to know in the last 4 hours, or maybe the last 30 days, or the last 90 days, or the last week, or the last 24 hours. You can get that specific. But what are they searching for YouTube about produce? Well, maybe they want to know, who can make, who uses fresh garden vegetables on pizza. Are there any local restaurants that do that? So they're looking for that. So maybe your post, Jenny, is these are some of the local restaurants that we deliver to, and we encourage you to do business with them because they're supporting local business and they have fresh, organic, beautiful produce that we have actually from our farm. So it could be that you do all of those things. Again, utilize Google Trends. You can look for as long as you want. So if you want to look from the beginning of time when Google was born, 2004, you can do that and see what the trends in the hills and valleys are, especially if you're learning an industry. But you can get as specific as the last hour, what people are searching for. Now, if you don't get any results, let's say I'm looking at Lincoln, Nebraska. How many people have looked for resin, right? Robert, they're looking for resin in the last 24 hours. Well, nobody in Lincoln really has, not enough, because you need to have at least a few thousand. I think it's at least 10,000, if I'm not sure, for it to show up in Google Trends. So you need to have quite a few people. So you might want to back it out and say, all right, I want to know in Lincoln, Nebraska, how many people in the last 90 days have searched for resin and what are they searching for? Now you'll have a better opportunity to see more search results because you're giving it more time. Does that make sense for you, Robert? Just let me know in the chat box, okay? So in order for you to communicate and be able to share valuable content, you need to know what matters most to them. It's not here what's in our head. It's what's here in the customer, what they need, what they're looking for. What are their pain points? What do they look like before they're looking? So when I explain, let's say, let me see who we've got here again. Let me go through the list because I don't want to just give some floral and gift shop. All right. Floral and gift shop. And that's Terry. All right, Terry. Let's say, Terry, what do they look like before they need your flowers and gifts? What are they actually experiencing? Well, it could be a wedding, an engagement. It could be a special holiday. It could be that somebody's sick. It could be that somebody passed away. It could be that somebody is getting, engaged. So what does it look like? So what do they look like steps before then? Well, maybe before then, take one step back. Before they are at, maybe looking at a wedding, they've already been to a jeweler and they've been searching out rings and they're searching out, what ring will work if, someone's my future husband works in oil and so he can't, or he welds, so he can't have a lot of these kinds of different rings on, only specific rings. I could be searching for things like that. But now I know that, hey, this is the natural progression. They're looking for engagement ring, that wedding ring. Maybe it could be that way. If, let's say, you work with realtors, Terry, let's say you bring a lot of realtors wreaths and you set up maybe even some of the plants or, welcome gifts for people new in town. Well, what do they look like steps beforehand? Well, it could be that they're working with their companies and they're going through corporate relocation and they're coming to even see the town. To do a little bit of house hunting. So maybe you start at that point and you think, okay, some of my messaging needs to be towards corporate HR relocation because they're the ones bringing new people in town even before the realtors have a chance to know that they're in town. So they're now getting people who are already with the business or considering working and relocating with the business to your location. Does that make sense? Right. So now you can truly help. It really positions you as the expert. And what happens a lot of times when we're in the looking zone, so we're looking for flowers right now, we need it immediately. First is what we do because it becomes a commodity. But if we shop before it's a commodity, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little thing here that my internet's unstable. So hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. Just let me know in the chat box. But so what do they look like steps before then? If you can get them steps beforehand, now you're a trusted advisor and expert. People will step over dollars to work with somebody that they know, like, and trust. Okay. So it's better than being in the commodity stage. Right. Also, you can share your content through many channels, which we've talked about already a little bit, but you can see that you can share on social, and all of these can be connected to your Google business profile 100% for free. And that gives you a chance, not everybody's on Facebook or Instagram, but if they are and they find you through Google search and they want to check out your social credibility and they want to see, anything that what people are saying about you, they can click on the link there to Pinterest and all that in YouTube. So make sure you've connected your social sites to your Google business profile. But remember, sharing is not selling. This isn't come get this now. This is being very helpful. In fact, a lot of people love when people will say, these are the 5 pitfalls that you could run into when you're working with resin, or when you're purchasing resin, or when somebody's designing with resin that you need to look for that will help you make sure you're getting the most value. Why does this, this sculpture or this resin figurine, so this minifig, why does it look better than this one? Why is it higher priced? Well, let's look at what the contents are and how solid this actually is. So you can teach them so they can be educated in their decision making and now get more bang for their buck, right? So it's developing those relationships by helping them. And the only way you can solve problems for them is to know what those problems are. We don't like to be told this is what we should do and what we should like. Nobody wants to be should on. And I said should, SHOULD, but they do like to be helped. So it's important for us and on us to get to know what they need. In the case of Tracy and Danny, how many of you have ever seen them? In fact, the first time I ever saw them was on Shark Tank, and I was so excited to see that they were part of Google's case studies, because Wicked Good Cupcakes was something that they just had locally. It was a local shop. They did local cupcakes. And then people started moving out of the area, just with business and job relocation. And now they wanted their cupcakes, but they were struggling with, how do I get cupcakes that are just not flattened when they're shipped? Well, they decided to start cooking them in mason jars to make it easier and unique, to make them stand out, still preserve the wonderful quality of their cupcake, but at the same time, get things out there that they don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we got to spend all this expensive money on heavy cardboard or a bigger box now, which gets you into dimensional weight and shipping costs that are even higher. They didn't want to get bogged down with that. So that's what they did. They learned more about their customers, what they needed. And in order to grow, they really found out that their customers were coming to them on Mother's Day and Christmas time. That's when they were buying the most cupcakes. But any other holiday, they would just go look at the holiday calendar and decide to just walk away. So they put a holiday calendar in there that was really unique, that showed that every day in the USA is a holiday. This is Take Your Dog to Work Day. This is Take Your Daughter to Work Day. This is National Nurses Day. This is Honor Your Boss Day. Whatever it is, there is a day in the US. And now you can go to their site, click on the calendar, and find out what actual cupcakes would be great for that day. It expanded it past 2 holidays because they had a good understanding of what their customers were doing on their site and what they were looking for and asking and searching for online. So when you have consideration and trust and you know your customers' needs, now that really helps you get it set up for conversion, which conversion is the success action you want them to take. It could be them buying from you. It could be a lot of other actions. So what are those actions? What is it that they need to do to really be a path to purchase from you, path to do business from you? So think about, what are those actions that really help you and make you know that it's inevitable. They're about to get to this area. Also, what are the things that will help streamline purchasing if they are purchasing? Is it easy to watch a video on your site? Are you requiring them to put their email address? Because a lot of people are very guarded about their contact information. So that's the PII, personal identifying information, which their email, they just don't want their inbox stressed out. I see a question here. What would be a good way to promote various kinds of chili throughout the year? Oh, that's easy. So Jason, here's some questions for you to ask on Google Trend. I'm not saying it's easy, but here's easy ways for you to go look for this. First, look at, what are favorite chili holidays? Ask Google Trends in your area. When are people searching for chili? So you know when the main times are there. But are there any chili holidays or chili festivals or chili competitions that maybe you're not participating in, but you sure can honor it? When not everybody in the world participates in the World Poker competition that happens in Las Vegas, but not everybody in the world is part of the big game this weekend. But I will tell you, local bars, local stores, are all having different things because they know there's heightened awareness of what people are searching for around that time. So it's important for you to really know that in your industry. And what else do they want when they're with, when they have chili? What else are they looking for? What do they look like before they have chili? Are they cold? Are they looking just for something different? Are they bored with their meal? Um, is it something because they just, it's the first fall, so first feeling of crispness, so what is it that they're feeling? Really be able to know those things. And now take a look at your Google Analytics. So if you have a website, do you have a website, Jason? Let me know before I go into that. Let me know if you have a website. Not yet. Okay. So when you get your website set up, set it up and connect Google Analytics, which is 100% free. So Google Analytics lets you know how people are shopping or consuming information on your site. That's why it was set up, to help you have a better understanding of your customer or the people who come to your website. Be it that you have your own website or you use Wix or Squarespace, it works with all of those. And one of the things that you can see is, what is it that matters most to them? Where do they spend time? What information that they're consuming? So you could put more of that information out there. The way I share it with people is, if you were in a physical store, brick and mortar store, and people came in all day long or all morning long, went from aisle 1 to aisle 3 and they never bought, but then noon came around and now people went from aisle 1 to aisle 4 and aisle 3 and they bought. You'd have questions to know, is it the afternoon person that's your better customer? What's wrong? What's different with the morning person? What maybe do they need that they don't see on aisle 1 or aisle 3 that aisle 4 is giving them? Or is there something on aisle 1 that makes them question things, right? So now you can know that when you look at page 1 of your site, page 3, if people are doing that, how they're consuming information, and then they're leaving your site to go to a competitor, what competitors are they going to? So that's why I like to look at Google Analytics, because it helps you become a better expert in that. And now you can deliver that information, of, okay, I know you're looking for this in chili. I know, how do you have chili? Are you a part of the great debate? Beans or no beans in your chili, right? So is that the cornbread or, sweet bread? So you could set that up and really engage people and bring them in to vote. And if they vote, to get percentage off, you can just have a lot of fun with it. But it really is understanding that customer. So for Wicked Good Cupcakes, on your Google page or through your website? Through your website. You do that through your website, Terry. So you're actually going to do that and set that up through your website. So if you go to, if you Google Analytics and be logged into the Google site or the Google account that you have, be it your free personal Gmail or free Google account, and it'll step you through what you need to do to connect your website there. You can either have them, but great question, Terry. You can have them either sign up for email. Maybe you want to keep them updated on the latest stuff, new chili stuff, new product. Maybe they need to complete a form. What is it that you like? Are you the no bean lover, yes bean lover? Maybe content download. What makes good chili? Why does organic grass-fed meat make a difference between this and that? How do you make a good chili dog? So maybe you have content for them to download. Jason, trial or demo request. You can do all of these things to identify these actions you want them to do to really let you know, hey, I have a great interest here. You can have also good, timely call to actions like this. Maybe you have offers, but maybe you have some testimonials you want to share with them about, look at, I was at this event and I shared my chili there, or these are all happy customers. We have 100 happy reviews. Or maybe you have free shipping, or maybe if they buy once, then they get their next purchase 10% off, right? Something like that. Now, talking about purchase, we want to make sure as part of our consideration that we streamline this process, because the more people have to click or the more that they have to do to buy from you, the more work you make for them, the less likely they're going to take the next action. So if you require them to sign in to your site and they are not ready to let you know who they are, and you don't offer guest checkout, sometimes that's the reason that they leave the site. It's just because they're like, no, there's no guest checkout, or it's too hard. It's 2:20. Remember what I told you about the people with the pet industry? So it's 2:20 in the morning. I'm laying here in bed and I found your perfect item, and now I have to enter my credit card in. You don't have Shop Pay, Google Pay, Apple Pay. You don't have Amazon Pay. You don't have PayPal connected. Something I could easily do, that all my information is already stored here in the phone, and just a couple of click of the buttons, and I've spent money with you. No, now I have to get up and go find my purse and get a credit card. Well, then I'm probably just going to scroll on down to the next one, because I'm not going to do that. Okay. So just you make it easy and you provide value like, okay, this is great. You bought this. Well, these are the 3 great items, or this is what you need with your chili here, or these are the other things that would help you because maybe this person, you're sending flowers to them and it's, they're getting it, they're engaged and you sent flowers of congratulations, and here are 3 other things to consider. It's like, oh, if you would consider us to be your wedding florist, then we provide this, or we have great relationship with people who have little gifts that you can leave on people's tables, or great bridesmaid gift, anything like that. You can provide additional benefits to them when you know your customers. That even makes it easier for them to do business with you because they feel like that you know them and you understand their needs. Not only do you anticipate that, but you can help them through that. Now, Google Analytics, you heard me talk about it. This is the URL, g.co/analytics. If you're signed into the Google account that you already have, it'll recognize you, and now you can connect your website property, and it'll start reading your website property and letting you know what people are actually looking for. What do they search for? What can't they find there? Now, there are Google Ads. I'm not going to talk about Google Ads here because that is paid. You do have to pay for Google Ads to run the ads. But if you sign up for Google Ads and just ignore that it wants your credit card, don't even put it in. You don't need to, but you will have to say, no, I don't want to put that in right now, or ignore it. There is a keyword planner in Google Ads that you can use. So a lot of people will pay for SEMrush or Ahrefs or another tool to find out what the keywords are. And Google Ads, there's a keyword planner in there. You can use 100% for free. So you can use that for free, and you don't have to run ads to have access to Google Ads. You just have to have a Google account. So you can do that. Now that you've gone through awareness, consideration, and conversion, it's time to build loyalty and advocacy, because we know it costs so much less money to be able to do business with a current customer or have them refer their circle of influence or circle of friends than for us to go get brand new customers. So how do we get them to return? What is it that we're doing to really provide value and to encourage that? Understanding that giving good customer service is just, that's just expected, right? You have to be extraordinary at what you're doing. So what is it that you're doing that's extraordinary, and helping them carry that message and be the feet on the street for you to their friends and family members who will listen to them. So part of that staying in touch. A lot of people say, well, I've closed the sale. It's not a sale that's being closed. It's opening a relationship with somebody. Each of us knows about 250, 300 other people that we touch, that we influence, that we connect with. And because of that, if we can stay in relationship with a customer that's done business with us, who already knows, likes, and trusts us because they bought from us, that does a whole lot better than us, again, trying to reach out brand new, cold, and trying to connect with people. So you can see those 6 points it's actually 5 points, 5 bullet points on the left there are exactly what you need to be able to start continually improving and continuing the relationship. Ask them, what would you like better? What would make it easier for you? What am I missing that you think that I should include? Now, when people give you that feedback like that, they feel like they're heard. And it's important because a lot of businesses don't listen to people. And who wants to do business with a business that doesn't listen? So they feel heard, they feel valued, and they feel invested in your business. So they love that you're sharing, and they love to share that they know you. They've got this great personal connection with you. So it's almost that exclusivity. Yeah, I tried to say that too fast. Exclusivity, right? So as we look here, how are you doing that? Is it through offers? Do they have little perks? You have a VIP group where you get feedback and they test out new products. Okay, got new chili for you to test out. Test this out. Give me your honest feedback. So the VIP group always gets to do that. And those are your customers who buy, maybe to subscribe, and they get chili delivered every week, every month. Right? So you've got some personalized programs. You can ask them for reviews. It's important always to ask for reviews. Most people would have left a review. 97% say they would have left a good review or any review if you would have asked, but businesses are not asking. So the bottom of your invoice, in your messaging with them, the bottom of your email when you connect with them, ask them for a review. Let them know that, because people do read those reviews. All of us lurking and checking you out and your reputation, we want to read good reviews and testimonials. So you could do that. Of course, if they share you on social, tag you, that's great too. Now, when you're asking for reviews, understand that you are going to get a negative review now and again. There's no business that's around that doesn't get a negative review. It's the nature of the beast. jeopardizing your privacy? Would you contact us here? Then you could put a link to your messenger, your WhatsApp, to your contact form, email, where they can text you. Sorry, it's saying my internet's unstable again. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat box. But it's important to respond promptly. When people leave you a good review, say thank you. Please say thank you, because most businesses do not. And if you want to stand hand and shoulders, thank you, Zoe, above all other businesses, say thank you, because most businesses only focus right on the negative reviews. And there are going to be trolls. Any amount of time that you're online, there are just people who've got so much time, and they're going to be trolls. Just ignore them. Some businesses even go so far as to say, thank you, Amy. They go so far as to say, you know what, I don't see you on our customer list, exactly what's happening with your customer list here. So they, I want to help you and I don't see you there. So would you contact us? So it does show that you're at least actively listening. So some people go that far with the trolls, but you don't have to interact with them there. Who can be an advocate? Those are your customers, your team members, your vendors. My gosh, that's one of the first things I did, especially for those of you who do a lot of word of mouth. I went to everybody that is a best customer of mine. So not only am I on the Google team, if you don't know me, I'm on the Google team. And as I said, I've been 15 years in international e-commerce. I've run a small business for 20 plus years from grassroots up. I started in a business incubator, and I've earned now the Texas Governor's Excellence in Small Business. So I'm pretty excited about that and honored to have that. But I will tell you, I went to every single one of the people that I'm a best customer for, and I said, listen, it's like this. There's a referral food chain. When I do good business, I buy from you. So when I eat, you eat. If I go out of business, I can't do business with you. So could you help me reach my best customer? This is who they are. And everybody, from my dry cleaner, because I speak professionally, so I go to conferences. You're going to see me in Marketech, right? I have to get my stuff dry cleaned or clean. My dry cleaner has my business cards there and talks to businesses. I say, oh, are you doing a pitch for the bank? Is that why you need this suit? All laundered? Are you talking to your attorneys? Well, here's somebody who can help you in marketing and growing your business and making you found online. So even as I got started in business, that's exactly what they did. My daycare provider, everybody, because, hey, I'm moving up in business. I'm getting into this decision-making role. I'm going to need some, longer term childcare or longer hours. You just never know. You just need to let them know, I'm your best customer. How can you help me reach my best customer? All right. Because we want to continue that referral food chain. Now, also influencers and affiliates, but also your employees, right? Anybody, if you have employees, make sure you're engaging them. They're going to do this on their own personal posts. So it's not something you're trying to restrict or contain them with. You want them to have the authenticity of their own personal brand, in their own tone, but still ask them. Okay. So what is your action plan? I've covered quite a bit today in understanding the funnel, top of funnel, awareness, middle of funnel. So that's sometimes called MOFU in advertising. When you're speaking to advertisers and marketers, they'll say, oh, do you need some MOFU advertising? That's middle of funnel. So TOFU is top, MOFU is middle. That's consideration. And then there's bottom of funnel, which is conversion and loyalty, BOFU, B-O-F-U. So bottom of funnel, or BOF, sometimes it's called. So middle, there's top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty. What do you need to work on next? I'd love to hear in the chat box. Of course, it's more important that you have a list of what you need to do next, because this will just be entertaining to you. And knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. So what is it that you're going to apply? Let me know in the chat box. What are you going to do right after we finish our session here to help you launch more customer-focused marketing and really get to know what you can do to be really an expert at awareness, conversion, or consideration, conversion, and then loyalty, okay? So it could be any of these items in the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel, awareness and consideration. So it could be any of those 6 bullet points that you're going to work on next. What is most important? Where are you stuck right now? Where is the log jam, so to speak, or the traffic jam in your actual funnel? Or is it in the bottom of the funnel? More conversion and more loyalty. Are the 5 bullet points here to the left more where you need to? Define your customers. Thank you, Amy. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, because a lot of times we think it's going to be everybody. And again, I'd love to take care of everybody. Everybody else is gravy. But my meat and potatoes of my business is making sure that my best customer, when they see me, thinks, like, gosh, she gets me. And that's exactly what I was thinking and I wanted to know. Now they see you as somebody who's a trusted advisor, or at least a trusted provider, right? So it could be the bottom of funnel, right? Where are you stuck? This is where you can find the handout and the slides from today after today. So understand, I'm going to upload those next. So don't expect to find it right there right now. Give me about 15 minutes after we finish up our session and it'll be there. So you can look for it there. And then of course, thank you to Grow Nebraska because I know that they recorded the session here, but I'm now available for Q&A. I love to interactively ask questions and answer questions during our actual session so you can apply what you've learned. But I'd love to hear what you're applying, what questions you have. So let's go ahead and launch into that. You're welcome, Jason. You're very welcome. I hope I'll see you in Marketech and you're bringing a sample of your chili. I would love that.
That does sound yummy.
I know, I right. I'm a chili fan. I love chili. Any other questions though, just let me know. And I'm going to actually I'm going to stay on the sharing the screen real quick in case somebody needs me to go back to a slide at all, just for a moment. And then if not, I don't see any questions coming in. I'll go ahead and stop the share. I can always share back in.
Okay, well, since there's no questions, I will start the wrap up and we'll see if any happen to come in. But as always, a huge thank you, Maria, for presenting for Grow Nebraska yet again. And I just looked up how many days Market Tech is away, and it is 22 days. So I will be seeing you in 22 days.
Yes, I can't wait, Zoe, to see you.
So if you have any questions for Grow Nebraska or any questions that you're needing help with your business, feel free to email me at zoe@grownebraska.org, and I would love to get you to the resource that you need or answer any questions that I may be able to answer. Or you can give our store phone a call at 308-338-3520, and any of our team members would be happy to assist you. We have some awesome upcoming trainings. Our next one will be February 15th, and that is with Abby, who is an Amazon expert, and she's going to talk about how to build a business with Amazon. And then on March 21st, we won't have Maria in March because we're doing February, which is Market Tech. But March 21st is how to get the most out of Microsoft Office for your business. And then March 28th, we did do some switching around. So be on the lookout for the details on that training and what the topic will be. We hope to have it up by next week. And then feel free to scan this QR code to get to the upcoming trainings, or you can go to grownebraska.org and we have an upcoming trainings tab, and there you can get registered for all of them. And then feel free to leave us a Google review and let us know how Grow Nebraska is doing for you and your business, and maybe something that we have provided that has helped your business. We would love to read them and hear about your experience with us. So feel free to scan that QR code. And then, of course, save the date for Market Tech Conference 2024, which is coming up 22 days away on February 29th. And I know Jason said he did not have much information. It looks like he's still on there. So I just wanted to quickly share the Market Tech website. It's just markettechconference.com. Let me see if I can get to it. And so it just looks like this, but if you come in here, you can check out the agenda. We, of course, will have Maria there live and in stereo, and then we have Troy as well as our keynote speaker. So we're super excited to have both of them come out and have Maria come back. And then we just have some great sessions over SEO. We have social media, optimizing your attraction. So it's really just a day full of learning, connecting, and networking, and you're definitely going to be leaving the building with more knowledge than when you walked in. So we highly recommend that you attend if you're able to. Registration is still open at this time. We do not have a set deadline, but look out on our social media for that to be announced. But space is filling up, so we highly recommend you get registered as soon as possible. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you guys there. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks again, Maria.